In this video, I am going to discuss about the animal tissues. The animal tissues may be classified into four major groups. Number 1, epithelial tissue. Number 2, connective tissue. Number 3, muscular tissue. And number 4, nervous tissue. The main function of epithelial tissue is to cover. Clear? To cover is the main function of the epithelial tissue. Then connective tissue, the main function of the connective tissue is to give support. So if anyone asks or if any question is like this, that you have to write in one sentence, then you can write the function like this. Clear? Muscular tissue, the function of muscular tissue is to contract. Clear? And function of the nervous tissue to convey messages. So first let's discuss about the epithelial tissue. Epithelial tissue forms a thin protective layer of cells. It covers the surface of the body and forms the lining of various body cavities and internal organs. Epithelial cells may be flat, cuboidal or columnar in shape. So, on the basis of shape of the cells, the epithelial tissues are of four types. Number 1, squamous epithelium. Number 2, cuboidal epithelium. Number 3, columnar epithelium. And number 4, ciliated epithelium. Clear? Now, again to learn in easy way, we will divide each types in 3 subtopics: structure, location and function. So let's start with the squamous epithelium. So structure. Squamous epithelium are composed of thin, flattened and polygonal cells. Location of squamous epithelium: cells of the outer layer of the skin, and the function is protection. Now, second one, cuboidal epithelium structure. They are composed of cube-like cells. Location: inner wall lining of kidney tubules, and function absorption. Third, columnar epithelium structure. They are composed of vertically arranged tall cylindrical or column-like cells. Location: inner lining of stomach and intestine, and function secretion. Ciliated epithelium. Location: in the lining of the windpipe and oviduct. Structure: hair-like structure, and function: the cilia keeps lashing and move the substances in its contact. Now, next is the connective tissue. The function of connective tissue is to connect various other tissues and organs, as well as it provides support to different organs to keep them in proper position. Means 2 functions we have discussed now. First function of connective tissue is to connect various other tissues and organs, and the second function is to provide support to different organs to keep them in proper position. Connective tissues are of 3 kinds: supportive connective tissue, fibrous connective tissue and fluid connective tissue. So let's start with the supportive connective tissue. Supportive connective tissue consists of cartilage and bone. So separately we will discuss about the cartilage and bone. So let's start with the cartilage. Cartilage covers the ends of the bones and gives support to certain organs. It is present as tip of the nose, external projection of the ear and windpipe. When you press, fold or twist your external ear and leave it, what happens? It reverts to its normal shape. The cartilage consists of a clear ground substance, and this clear ground substance is called matrix, which contains a large number of spaces, each occupied by one or more cells. Next is bone. Bone is the main supportive structure of vertebrates. The bone cells are embedded in a hard matrix of calcium and phosphorus salts. The matrix is deposited in the form of concentric layers around a central canal. The bone cells occupy small spaces. Now, next is the fibrous connective tissue. Fibrous connective tissue serves for packing and binding of most of the organs. So, in fibrous connective tissue, first we will discuss about the areolar tissue. Areolar tissue binds our skin to the underlying tissue. This is the function of areolar tissue. Next is the adipose tissue. It contains cells filled with fat globules. So if anyone asks, name the connective tissue, name the fibrous connective tissue that contains cells filled with fat globules, you will name what? Adipose tissue. Yes. Third is tendons. It connects muscles to bones at joints. And fourth is ligaments. It connects a bone to another bone at joints. So if you have to write one difference between the tendons and ligaments, you can use this line to write the answer. What? Tendons connect muscles to bones at joints, whereas ligaments connect a bone to another bone at joints. Now, the third is the fluid connective tissue. Fluid connective tissue consists of blood and lymph. So first let's discuss about the blood. Blood is composed of both liquid and cellular parts. The liquid part in the blood is called plasma, and the cellular part includes RBC, WBC and platelets. What is the full form of RBC? Yes, red blood corpuscles, and WBC, white blood corpuscles. Clear? Now, the next is lymph. Lymph is the fluid surrounding the body cells. It is essentially the plasma with some leukocytes or white blood cells that have oozed out of the blood capillaries. It lacks red blood cells and blood platelets. This is the difference between the blood and the lymph. That in blood, what? Red blood cells and blood platelets are present, whereas in lymph, red blood cells and blood platelets are absent. Fluid connective tissue is mainly concerned with the transportation of substances like glucose, amino acids, oxygen, etc. So this is the function of the fluid connective tissue. What? Yes, transportation of substances like glucose, amino acids, oxygen, etc. That's all for today. Next topic in the next video. Till then, have a nice